Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about why natural means nothing when it comes to nutritional supplements or just nutrition in general. A lot of people get confused and tricked when they see it on labels, and I wanted to talk about that specifically. Just a reminder, I am not a nutritionist, I am not a chemist, and I am not a doctor. I do not pretend to be any one of those things. I do not encourage the use of any substances, legal or illegal, in this video strictly for educational and entertainment purposes only. So, when it comes to the term natural, a lot of people think that it means healthy or safe because they associate natural with things like, vegetables, which your parents always told you are very healthy, fruits, meat products, things that are very natural. But the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of things that are natural that can kill you. For example, there are many mushrooms that are purely natural. There are many forms of poisons that are purely natural. All of these things you could put on a label and say natural, and you would not be in the wrong. You'd be in the wrong for murdering people, but you wouldn't be in the wrong for calling it natural. And this bothers me a lot because, on the opposite hand, this also implies that synthetic compounds are therefore inherently dangerous, which is not true. Synthetic can be just as safe and safer than natural. This happens with everything from supplementation to diets to even exercise regimens. I've heard of people saying that certain exercises that we do naturally, like our ancestors did, are somehow better than doing squats in the gym. I don't like this train of thought. I don't like this logic, and I've never fallen into it. Even when I was younger, I was always like, why are they putting natural on the label? Even with things like flavored of natural flavorings. There's that whole thing about how a long time ago they used to flavor most vanilla things with a thing from beaver anus because it had a vanilla taste to it. That was purely natural vanilla flavoring, and most people would find that completely revolting nowadays. I don't think it's on the market anymore, but it still falls into my category of natural versus synthetic. I would prefer synthetic vanilla at that point. But that just comes back to my argument over most things are labeled as natural to try and trick you into thinking somehow that's healthier or safer, when synthetic can be just as healthy or just as safe. I've had the same problem with supplementation. So many people think that certain natural stimulants are safer than synthetic stimulants, even though certain synthetic stimulants can be way more efficacious and way more safe than certain natural stimulants. Also, very dose dependent. Always be careful when you do those sort of things, or learn about them, I should say, because a lot of people have a vested interest in teaching you about them. But the fact of the matter still remains that natural versus not natural is annoying. And for people to put natural on a label is just to try and grab your attention or to trick gullible people into thinking that somehow it is safer, healthier, or a better alternative to another sort of thing. So, for example, there are many supplements I take, like N-acetylcysteine, GABA, those sort of things. Are they natural? No, they're synthetic. But if I was to take a lot of natural compounds with those things in them, would they be safer? Sometimes no. Sometimes they can have such a high rate of conversion into those things that I could get sick. Not necessarily for N-acetylcysteine. That's not really possible, and GABA, it's highly unlikely. So I guess I picked poor examples, but going back to the point, that natural versus not natural or synthetic is completely silly. Go back to insulin, for example. We used to get insulin from animals because we hadn't derived how to do it synthetically. So for diabetics, they used to get, for example, pig insulin. Yes, insulin from pigs, and it was derived from pig cadavers. Now, you and I are already seeing a lot of problems with this. It's purely natural. It's 100% from the earth. From an animal from the earth, I guess you could say, but it's natural. It's naturally derived. You want synthetic insulin. There were so many cases of cross-contamination incorrect amounts of insulin. I mean, there's a reason why synthetic insulin needed to be brought to market. The whole point that you could be using something natural versus not natural is silly. It's all about efficacy. It's all about safety. It's all about what does the compound actually do. Even in the same compound field, like I just talked about of insulin, synthetics can oftentimes be better than natural. Now, I'm not saying this is always the case. Obviously, there are a lot of stimulants like methamphetamine, meth, that can kill you the first time you take it compared to ginseng, which is a natural stimulant, which would not do the same. That's not what I mean. And obviously, methamphetamine is highly addictive. But that's comparing apples to oranges, in my opinion. I'm saying most things, when we compare them, if they're in the same category of synthetic to natural, a lot of the time there's a reason we made something synthetic. It's because to derive it from animal or natural based products is not inherently good for the consumer. But that's going to be it for this video, everybody. I hope everyone's having a good one right now. Please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. And until next time, don't just have a good one. Have a great one.